What is going on, guys? This is the 3D Podcast. I'm your podcast director, Austin. We are sitting here with the entire squad. To my right here, we got our videographer, Matthias.
Yo, what's up, guys?
We got our main man, founder, Ethan.
What's going on?
We got our visual engineer, Swannels.
How's it going?
What's good? And then we got our main producer, the man, the myth, the legend, Rob.
What is up?
Alright, so I haven't talked to you guys in a while, guys. How is everyone's week? What's good? Everybody have a good week?
Yeah, good week.
Yeah, nothing I can complain about, really.
Except for the fucking weather, maybe.
Less hours at Walmart, which is great. Gearing up for live shows and.
I heard you quit Walmart.
Well, I haven't quit yet, but
Oh yeah, you're going to, yeah.
it's probably gonna happen very soon.
How are you gonna do it?
I'm excited. Put
Gonna
my
do
2 weeks
something-
in.
No, dude, just say fuck it. Just be
Yeah.
like, fuck.
No.
Yeah, bro, just don't show up again.
Severance, man.
Just don't show
Well,
up
I get
again.
severance if I do that. If I get
It's kinda
fired.
weird.
Oh, that's why you should then, yeah.
That'd be tight. if
I
you
didn't
did
know whose side I was on.
That'd be tight if you did something crazy or something like that.
Just expose yourself.
Because, I mean,
It's like, why would I, even if I
Just
was
chuck-
gonna do something crazy, why would I tell you now?
Just chuck a fat cloud.
You might
right
see it in the
fucking-
news.
Because, I mean, it is Walmart. I mean,
Local Walmart employee streaks down the juice aisle and leaves.
Bro, that would-
leaves senior citizen in a cardiac arrest. Yeah.
Steals $8,000 worth of Xboxes.
And then rubs himself down with peanut butter and exits the store. So
Like a snail.
no one could grab onto him. They tried to apprehend the suspect, but he was just too greased up. With peanut butter.
guy.
So I'm sitting here, barbecue sauce on my titties, you know.
you could be like that guy of a Family Guy, the greased up dude
Yeah.
or some shit.
yeah. Nobody can catch him.
So, guys, what was the weekly struggle? What'd you guys struggle with this week?
I struggled. Normal customer service shit. Dealing with assholes all day.
Tool service life.
Having a below average size penis,
Just-
just a struggle right there, man.
Everybody's like, well, if you're in service anything, everyone wants their shit quickly and cheap.
I did. I just
Like-
voted for myself.
Like it could be a car, it could be a fucking
Literally
equipment,
anything.
Like literally anything. I want it now. I want it done in less than a week, and I want it to be cheap as fuck. And we're like, all right, your price is getting jacked up, and it's taking longer than a week because we're waiting on parts, quote unquote.
So what? You're extorting people, Rob? What?
No.
Is that- What?
It's called they can run a
But
business
yeah,
however they
people
want.
are just fucking assholes, dude.
That makes
You're
yeah,
fucking
but
asshole.
you're an
Yeah.
asshole, like doing that.
Everybody's enemy is someone else's not enemy. You asshole.
Your cause.
People just need their tools fixed, Rob.
Well, some tools are owned by tools.
Yeah.
Apparently.
But sorry, your tiny ass shitty 18-volt drill.
Have you
isn't worth
have you told
anything.
anyone what your work is? They might be like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, I've told them like 10 times
Yeah.
on the podcast.
I'm just making sure. I know you've told me, but I don't remember if it was while we were sitting here.
They know. But
They
yeah.
know.
He services your crank. You know what I'm saying?
Indeed.
He services your
Hit me
your
up.
rig. Full service rig work. Rob Santel.
Rig work.
I'm telling you, he'll spit shine your
I'll buff
kitchen
that
so
shit
fucking
up.
gnarly, dude. Full service, full spectrum. Full spectrum, yeah, that's
Oh,
right.
yeah.
He's all-
Rosin.
Anyone else have a weekly struggle?
Yeah, what's good?
Austin, what about you? Mr. Podcast Director.
Dude, I mean, I have stopped an addiction of mine, so I mean, just coping with my personal like emotions and shit like that. Just going through, just dealing with like emotions like organically, just like with nothing to take it away from, you know, just kind of like
Except 2 joules.
except for 2 joules, you know, on
Just
deck. Just 2. I mean,
It was 3.
I got 3 of them, but you know, I had to cut it down to 2. But
I had to cut that shit off. That was too many to keep charged at one time.
I did the exact opposite. I gave up juuling a week ago.
Straight up.
you know, but
So let's see who does better.
just dealing with that shit, just dealing with your emotions, just gotta take a deep breath, just think about your morals, you know, I'm a good person, life's good, life's on good track, everything's chilling, you know. But I mean, that's just all me, but I mean, working and all that stuff, I'm always in a good vibe. I'm a positive vibe person, like, so it's pretty hard to piss me off, but I mean, just like just cutting shit down and just dealing with it, you know, just coping with things. Just that was my kind of struggle. Just little things like that. I would just get triggered on, you know, and just get pissed off. But you know, just being a sober Austin here. But we're chilling. That was my struggle. But Matthias, did you have any struggles doing like any videography shit or editing and anything like that?
Yeah, like, you know, it's just some really heady shit. Very logistics.
No, you're stupid, dude. It's easy, dude.
You do it.
I did it.
You didn't do it.
I didn't do it.
You didn't do anything.
I didn't.
Well, video related. Anyways, yeah, I mean, like, programs, you'll never, like, fully understand the ins and outs of the program.
Yeah, because they update it right before you almost learn it.
I
I almost had it. That's what I say.
Real,
I wish my program would do that,
Right.
but it doesn't.
They like
Yeah.
give you a just so you know, bro. Like heads
Yeah.
up, we're about to fuck you and like make you.
Oh, hey, your interface changed.
Yeah.
This is going there.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Everything you got used to
what-
is gone now, so that you're made to feel inferior.
Yeah.
That's not a fact, but it happens sometimes.
I use the Adobe Suite, so pretty big program company
I went from
that you guys have probably heard of. Photoshop, you know, Photoshop and
Who hasn't heard of
I work
Photoshop?
with-
exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like you guys have definitely heard of this.
Same
so, yeah.
thing happened with me from release 19 to release 20 of Cinema 4D. They changed a bunch of stuff and added some things. It was really cool.
Well, that's good because Adobe fucked me, and
Did it feel good?
no,
No.
did not. So yeah, I'm just dealing with
It's
some
like
fucking
cat penis. It has
technical
barbs.
difficulties.
Speaking of just being at work and shit like that, one of my bosses, he's like 24 years old and he's got like a kid, which is insanity. But he told me
What,
this,
having a kid at 24?
I mean, like that young having a
How old
kid.
is
My
the
parents
kid?
had their first kid at 24. That's a very it's a
I
very,
couldn't do
it's a
that,
very
man.
European thing to do.
I
you
could
know?
not do that. I don't think I would be like ready. Like when.
Well, no, I'm saying like I mean
Bro.
like a lot of people get married at like fucking 18 and
yeah.
like Europe
Yeah.
and shit, dog. That's not uncommon at all. But over here it's
Even
a little
even here.
Here's the thing. I heard this
Yeah,
the other
even
day.
here
Jordan
it's like-
Peterson said like we've been like pacifying our children so that like we delay grads. Like now there's grad school and like essentially whatever like. We've taken adolescence and we've extended it like 6 to 8 years. He says you'd have to look up like what Jordan Peterson says specifically about it. That's what I'm referencing. But it's very interesting that like between school and just essentially everything other than like genetics and like when you're supposed to like be on your own, being like I guess like
Yeah, because when are you supposed to
matured.
be?
I mean once you like or have a man like hair on your chest and shit like you know what I'm saying.
But
Like,
dude,
Once you
back in the
start-
old days, like
I know a lot
like,
of 25-year-olds living with their parents. That's what,
Well, yeah, but like back in the old days, when you get hair and shit on your chest, get some
out.
fucking muscles. You're out there in the
Get
fucking
out.
field. You're like you're
You
out there
wouldn't go to
fucking
school for half the
fighting
year
in
'cause
the
you farm.
wars.
Yeah,
Like
nature
that's
took
what
care
you
of that
fucking
shit.
do.
No, you
Yeah.
hear? You wouldn't go to school for half the year because you'd be farming. You know, that's where that's
You
why
wouldn't
this
go to
summer-
school because
Farming or fighting in wars or training to be in wars.
Yeah.
But anyway, where I was going with that story, he's got like a young kid and stuff like that, and he told me this story about how like there was this thing with like on the social media, there's like this like little like character shit was like this pig little cartoon shit, and literally like it was talking about how like the parents would like watch this little cartoon with the kids like for like a couple minutes, and then like after like a couple minutes they'd be like, okay, this is cool for my kids to watch, whatever, just like entertain them while I live my life. And apparently in this video it was like normal cartoon, it's like these pigs or some shit talking about like normal like little children shit, and literally in the middle of the video like this evil like
oh my god.
this little evil cartoon character is like this like weird scary looking like face, and it looked like it had like chicken legs or something like that, and like it was called MoMA, and look it up, it was like a MoMA doll or some shit, and like literally the MoMA doll, it would come up in like the middle of the video where like the parents would stop watching, so like the kids would just be watching, and it would tell them literally like I watched it, it was fucking insane. It was like the MoMA doll would say, oh yeah kids, cut don't cut sideways, cut up, and like it would literally tell them to like tell the kids to do stuff like, oh, put a fork in like a fucking put a fork in a toaster, or go do this or go do that, like fucking do crazy shit. It was insanity. And
As much as I love creepy pastas, everyone.
What
else,
in the
it's
fuck?
fake. It was just a sculpture made by a special effects company.
Yeah, literally, it's like it
But
was
it's not real.
it was
Like,
made
the
by,
videos never
That is
happened. No
fucked.
kids ever killed themselves. But
but like yeah, like it would tell kids that, no, I swear to God, I heard
no,
that
it's not real.
I
Honestly, at all.
no, it's not real, but like I heard like a story like some,
Viral internet hoax MoMo.
but it was
It's a hoax.
it was
It's
crazy
mother
like
bird. It's weird proportions.
It was-
Yeah,
it was
it's
like a
fucking weird looking. Yeah, and it's real. Someone actually made that shit. Some weird fucking people made some weird
It
I
was-
typed in MoMA and I didn't find that. How the fuck did you find that, dude?
MoMo.
Momo. That's
yeah,
what it
you're
was.
half a Momo for
Momo.
believing it. Half a
No, dude, I
moron.
have heard of like YouTube kids videos being completely fucked. Like it'll seem normal and shit at the beginning and the end, but randomly in the middle of the video,
Are you
it'll
guys
just
know
be
about
like some
YouTube algorithms
satanic
right now?
shit.
This is gonna go
I have
into,
heard of that.
Pizzagate
Yeah.
and
Dude,
weird
you can
sex
fucking
videos,
stop.
so please
You can
don't.
stop the. You know how like TV used to turn off at midnight or whatever. You could. They would have to every night. Bum bum
When in
bum
crime.
bum bum bum. Like the American flag going by at the end of the program. Program pun, no pun intended. Right. Listen. You can look this up. Like type in like is it the Star Spangled Banner or whatever? At the end of the TV show, they'd play the song, and it would have the lyrics go across, and someone slowed it down. And when the lyrics would change, there was code in there, and it said like obey, consume, defiance will not be tolerated, like this deal has been made, like all this shit, but like you have to slow it down to see it. And this was made in like the 70s and the 80s, so it's kind of cool that it was like you'd have to have some serious computers to do it at the time, but anyone could do it with Photoshop now. It may have been debunked, but it was like someone slowing down a recording of like like someone taking their nightly news from the 70s or 80s or whatever and
No, it did with the
slowing
final
down
broadcast.
yeah, slowing down the broadcast and seeing the words change. And it was just supposed to, it happened so fast that it was supposed to be like your mind could read it, but you wouldn't know that you'd read it. And it was like, yeah, like, defiance will not be tolerated, like, consume, obey. Like, it was just like messages, subliminal messages hidden in there. But yeah, I mean, there's a gajillion things like that. Like,
This was just like the latest thing I heard about, and I even saw it on like Snapchat
Oh, it's
news and
okay,
shit
it's
like
just
that.
big.
But
I
like
just didn't want it to like.
it would like I remember like it told in the story like the MoMo doll or some shit. It would say like to the kids like, yeah, dude, if you tell your parents like I'll come to your house and kill you or some shit like that. And the kids were so brainwashed that it wouldn't do it and would actually do what the thing told them to do. And like I just thought that was fucking insane, you know, just like a little brainwashing thing for little kids to get scared and shit like that. I thought that was fucking insane.
I hope it was debunked for real, because that sounds
Oh yeah,
terrible.
oh yeah. I tried looking it up to like earlier today, and like I couldn't find shit. I just saw like video, like YouTube
When did you
videos.
see this? Like last week?
I saw last week.
It was like really going big on like
Yeah.
Snapchat and stuff.
Yeah, so the national anthem had subliminal messages like in the lyrics. You know.
How often?
It
did
was
you-
listen. It was hidden in an old 1960s station sign off. It was the station sign off, and
one specific station.
the station sign off meaning like, yeah, you'd be watching TV. There was only 6 fucking channels back then. Like,
Yeah.
and you know, at the end of the night, they'd show the American flag, and you know, then the rockets red glare. But then as the words change, they change quickly. But if you slow it down as they change and like flicker by, the print behind it was. Let's see, the print behind it was. I'm pulling it up.
Pull it up.
And we won't play the audio because we don't want to have copyright infringement, but we'll read what was supposedly hidden in there. And they slow it down so you can see it. You'll have to look up the video. It's just national anthem subliminal messages. So they're going to slow it down, and they'll show you, like, in the words on screen, like, how when it changes, how there was messages in there.
Bless. God bless your soul.
Do you not see
Oh,
it?
yeah, yeah,
Right
yeah.
there?
I don't
God.
see it.
You got to, like, here. You got to really, like, it's, like, right through it. See it? See it go across through it?
It's very
What?
the
Is it
opacity.
above the-
The opacity
It goes
is
through the
gone.
text. Like
Oh,
the
shit,
the
yeah.
book
Yeah, yeah.
and read. Like,
The opacity.
I
it
is
tells you
gone.
what it's
Yeah.
going to say right here.
I
So
did.
obey,
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 consume,
obey,
obey,
consume.
Yeah. That is
Remember
fucked.
excision visuals with the eye? Remember it had the Illuminati eye and it was excision visuals and said obey, consume. I was like, oh, he's hip. I was like, this dude's woke as fuck. He's speaking on that.
Trust
like-
the government.
Yeah, and you were talking, dude. You were talking. There's Moloch or the
Moloch.
satanic owl. It's hidden in our money. Bohemian Grove. All of our fucking elite go there and worship and do child sacrifice to it every
Illuminati
night.
shit,
Look
yeah.
that up. That's common knowledge.
Stop
It's not.
giving me
go-
chills.
It's in North California. Go check it out. It's like that's not real. Go up there. Go check it out. The Secret Service dudes are gonna say, "What are you doing here? Leave." That's what's gonna happen. Go up there, North Carolina.
fucking insane.
North Carolina. I'm sorry, North California, Bohemian Grove. Go check it out.
Fuck.
You can't, because it's where the world elite goes to misbehave. There's pictures of Nixon and Reagan there before the presidency. You see what I'm saying? Type shit.
Brutal enemies.
Damn.
They do child sacrifice there in front of a satanic owl statue, and they've done it for like the world elite. Like the world leaders come there to hang out.
Are they still doing this today?
Oh yeah, the Bohemian Grove. Look it up. Go check it out. Yeah. To this day, you can't go there. Look it up. Bohemian Grove. Common knowledge. Place in Northern California where the world elite go to misbehave and have sex with little boys and kill kids and do coke and yeah.
Yeah,
it's where
the billionaire class is really fucked.
Well, you know, you got to get off somehow, and once you have all the money and power, how do you get off? You know, you got to.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not advocating for it. I mean, this is the people that are running things. You know, it's the how you say shadow government. Yeah.
It's fucking mind blowing.
Look it up, dude. Go prove me wrong. I wish someone would prove me wrong. It's never happened. I would love for someone to do that because then I would get to sleep better at night knowing that that's not the reality of the situation. Is that literally the devil himself. The Illuminati, the Masons, the Eye, TGATOU, the great architect of the universe.
The Masons.
Yeah, I mean, if you look it up, you can straight up get.
Fucking look it up. It's on the
yeah.
back of our money. In Latin, it says, "This deal has been made." And God we trust. That ain't my God. You know what I'm saying, boys? Like,
I always thought that was sick as fuck, cause like.
No. It's in Latin, and it has the Masonic hierarchy on it with the eye at the top.
Yeah. I mean, like, everyone's seen, like, a dollar bill, and they see that, but, like, I'm sure, like, half the people don't even know, like, what the fuck it really is.
If you're going to tell a lie, don't tell the whole lie, just sprinkle it in, right? If everyone's, oh, that's God, you know, like, they're calling you God, right? There you go. Boom. Prove me wrong. I'd love for that to happen. I'd get to sleep a lot better tonight.
I am dumbfounded.
Right? Check it out. It's on the back of our money, the Masonic hierarchy. Check the ladders. Count the ladders. Google the Masonic hierarchy on your phone. What is that? It's the elite. What do fraternities do? They prep you for that. They get you ready for being part of, you know, the cool kids, right? We have connections. We got connections to everything. Yep. That's what they say the Masons, the Illuminati, the Masons are. In any town right now, check this one out. Here's one for you. I bet wherever you live in your town, there's a Blue Lodge. What's that? It's the entry level to Masonry. There's a Blue Lodge everywhere, and you're never going to hear about another house because after the entry level, it starts to get secretive. And now we're into the esoteric land of the elite. And that's what they pride themselves on, is having information that you don't, and being a part of the cool kids club. And that's the world we live in. Yeah.
Dude, that's like that SpongeBob episode where Squidward was like doing that shit on like undercover shit where he was like had the cape on and like,
the robes, red and black robes,
yeah.
and you swear on the Bible. On
Uh-huh.
it. You do that in a fraternity. It's the same fucking ceremony that you do in the Illuminati. It's prepping you to be in the elite. And what do you do when you're in a fraternity? You fucking treat other people like shit. Why? Oh, because someone did it to me, and because we're gonna be better off for it, and da da da. It's fucked. It's fucked.
holy shit. Get educated, people.
Dude, like, prove me wrong. I'd love for that to happen, man. Trust your tummy. There's a Mason Blue Lodge in your town. It's all about brotherhood and connection. Sounds a lot like a fraternity. Check out that Masonic hierarchy. The third to the top is the Illuminati, and the top is the TGATOU, the great architect of the universe. He who thinks, the almighty deceiver, devil himself, Lucifer, runs this world. He does. Prove me wrong. I'd love to see it. Wish you could.
Holy fuck.
It's on the back of our money. You think that's an accident? Prove it wrong.
Go get your wallet,
I don't have
Austin.
my
I got a fucking dollar.
I don't have my wallet on me. Jesus. Oh my god, the Blue Lodge.
Bro.
Yeah, dude, there's one fucking here.
There's in Warrenton, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go up there. They say, oh, we're the brotherhood, man. We help
Bro.
you get connections. That they do.
In Wisconsin, I used to walk past this place. It was a Blue Lodge, little did I know. Had like some weird fucking logo on it. Like
the compass, the Mason G compass.
Yeah,
Oh,
it
yes.
was a compass.
It's
Yep.
compass.
Yeah.
Here we go, boys. Does
Never
this-
knew what
does
that
this look
was.
familiar?
It was the K of C. The K of C or whatever. The
All
fuck.
right, the Masonic Pyramid. So you got the first 5 levels that are U.S. Masonry, and then it gets into the super secretive stuff, which is the European Masonry. This stuff's thousands of years old. People talk about the New World Order. All that is the fact that technology's advanced, that everyone's a slave to the fucking system instead of different people using different systems to enslave their people. Anyways, this is how she blows. It's existed for thousands of years. And the hierarchy is that in every town you have a Blue Lodge. That's the bottom step. Then that goes into different steps, and after 5 steps you get into the European Masonry, which is like when you start doing cultive, like satanistic shit. And at that point you've been promised so much power, and you actually get so much power that you don't care. And they practice magic. They practice witchcraft. I've even heard that if you get up high enough, you have to become either a werewolf or a vampire. I've heard of if you get up high enough, you have to become a Catholic priest so that you can attack the Catholic priest. If you want to be high enough up in the Masonry, I heard of a Mason that got out of it. I watched his documentary.
That guy was weird.
He would have his wife bring him altar girls, and they would let him suck their blood so that he could live as a vampire. And he was also a very high up Mason infiltrating the Catholic Church.
Oh my god.
Yes, and they do that as to attack the Catholic Church.
Dude, didn't the Catholic Church just get caught with like pedophiles?
Oh
Yes,
my
they
God,
do. You want to know
dude.
why? You want to know why? Because in all those instances,
Philadelphia or some shit.
a woman came forward and said that she was a Mason, and she said, I am responsible myself for 5 cardinals, like 80 priests, this many deacons herself that were all Masons. They infiltrate. Scientology did the same thing. Operation
With the fucking U.S. government.
Operation Snow White.
Oh.
Listen, largest U.S. government infiltration in history. Multiple people went to federal prison for a long time, even with the best lawyers, okay? There was no getting out of that one. Mrs. L. Ron Hubbard herself, the Mrs. to the man herself, she was the ringleader of the whole thing. They infiltrated the U.S. government. They got jobs at the U.S. government, much like Masons get jobs at the Catholic Church. They infiltrate it. They get on the inside. They occupy the highest offices, and they corrupt from the inside. And you know why Scientology infiltrated the U.S. government in Operation Snow White? And I quote, to purge unfavorable records regarding Scientology. Ergo, the government's saying things about us that we don't want them to say. So let's just go in there and rewrite the book about what's said about us. That's cool, right? And then if you're a Mason, eventually you got to get into the Catholic Church, and you got to start You see what I'm saying? And my brother is a missionary, and he's told me that priests have told him, what am I to do when I know the person that I'm supposed to report these things to, like child sex, the person I'm supposed to report this to, I know for a fact he's a Mason. My brother has said that priests have told him what are you to do when the person you report to, you know that he's a part of the other side. That's how this shit goes.
Dude, that's some like Emperor Palpatine shit, dude.
You
For
infiltrate
real,
from the
that's
inside,
scary,
bro.
dude.
You'll never hear a scandal on the news about anything other than the Catholic Church with sex scandal. And guess what? It does happen, and it's terrible.
Why?
And I'm not saying that all those priests are Masons, but a lot of those priests, and even if they're not Masons, you know what they are? They're attacked spiritually.
How is this even allowed?
How is it allowed? What do you mean, bro?
Why doesn't
People are out to serve themselves. It's
Amen.
terrifying.
You have free will.
disgusting.
People look the
God
other
works
way,
through
dude.
you. The devil works through you, bro. Yin and yang. Like, not even to call it God, but like, let's call it karma, right? Like, you have free will. All that stuff's at play, right?
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't even have to be God. It can be whatever you believe it to be. But like that shit that you can't touch or feel, but you know that it's
Yeah,
there.
I was taught that all through Catholic school.
You know what I'm saying? No, but even if you're not Catholic or whatever, even if you're Buddhist, whatever, like fucking just like the spiritual, the yin and yang, the good and bad, like.
Yeah.
If the good, Rick and Morty, here's one for you for the people out there that are like atheists and you're like, dude, fuck you guys. Like the episode where they get in the detoxifier and it gets rid of their toxins or whatever. In that episode, they say the evil part of me had a will to survive. And when I see that in the episode, I'm thinking, holy shit! It really lit a light off in my head. Like what a genius conceptualization that the evil part of you has a will to survive. In the sense that if the part of you that wants to do good wants to live, then why wouldn't the part of you that wants to do bad want to live? And what is that part of you that wants to do bad? What is that? When you have a thought, is it your thought? When you get a thought, it's either an original thought, it's coming from a place of good or bad. So yeah, I mean, you can get a thought that could be like I see that girl's ass and like I really want to fuck. Yeah. If you ask me, that's a very glutton, hedonistic, bad. Like, I'd call that, like, the devil, right?
Yeah.
And then a lot of times, like, my heart hurts and I almost want to cry when I think about, like, when I see a puppy or something that's, like, mistreated. You know what I mean? And I'd call that, like, the good, right?
Yeah.
And so, like, I think we can, like, most people would agree on that, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I feel the same way, yeah.
We all have thoughts. Sometimes they come out of thin air, it seems like. But I encourage you to ask yourself, where are those thoughts really coming from? Are they coming from a good place, a bad place?
Because there's also that analogy, you got like you got the devil on your side, on the right
or
shoulder.
yin and yang, whatever you want to fucking call it, bro.
Yeah,
whatever you want to call it, bro.
Jesus.
It works through all of us, man, yeah. And it definitely works in the elite, and I encourage you guys to look up the Bohemian Grove. I encourage you guys to look into Scientology and how they work with acting out and openly against people that are not in line with them. Another thing the Scientologists do, they have these meetings, they're like, oh, we built this church, we did this thing, we built houses for these people in another country. Studies show that there's less than 35 Scientologists in the world total. And they tell all these members that they're doing these awesome things. No, it didn't fucking happen. The Scientologists do not go and feed all these people and build all these churches and do all these things. Studies suggest that they have 35,000 members, 6,000 of them are on staff, and then it's like, yeah, get as many people employed and then get their family members involved. That's their fucking business model. Prove me wrong on that too. They don't do all the awesome things they say they do with philanthropy and helping people, and so they serve themselves. That's what fucking most everyone does, except for the Catholic Church. They say to love your enemy, and that's why I believe on that, and we'll end on that. Not to make it preachy, but yeah, like, just check yourself and ask yourself, is it self-interest? Is it genuine care for your neighbor? Or is it somewhere in between? But yeah, man, I don't know. Like, that's the games we play, I guess, like intentions.
Well, dude, the founder's wife, Shelly, she's been missing since she was last seen in public in like 2003 or 13 or some shit. It's like, where the fuck did she go?
Off grid.
It's like you don't just disappear like that.
You do if you're a part of a fucking cult and you're the ringleader. And
Vsauce made a video about how people disappear. Pretty interesting.
Dude, Vsauce went to fucking South America.
I don't know where this episode went, and I like it, but holy shit. Sorry we're not on music. Like,
hey, Vsauce, Michael here.
Remember that? How insane that was?
Yeah.
Oh.
I just
You went on a spiritual trip.
I mean,
No, it was a guy who just made like kind of weird YouTube interesting videos, and just out of nowhere, like YouTube Red gave him a series, and he went down to South America and it was like ayahuasca, and I was blown away when I first saw that. It was wild. Because I never expected that from Vsauce.
on a 3D note, trying to get on a better positive vibe.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Not to scare anybody, but dude, that's fucking educational, man. I
Look
mean,
into it.
You gotta.
Yeah, MoMo. He's out there.
I mean like that. If you got children, for sure, be aware of like shit like that. You know, like don't just sit there and be like, oh yeah, just, for sure, watch all your shit and make sure your kids are not fucking watching something crazy. But anyway, just for like a shits and giggles, like probably like let's say like a 15-year time frame, because I know for a fact we're gonna be blowing up as a group. But if you guys like. Because, I mean, like, I know we're talking about, like, getting a new house and all that shit, but, like, let's say in, like, 15 years or so, because, like, we're gonna blow up and all that shit, but, if you guys wanted to buy a house together, anywhere in the world, where would you guys want to live at?
Ooh.
Like, goal-wise, where the fuck would you want to build a house for the squad?
I don't know, because I've never left the country.
Matter.
I don't know.
You never left the country?
It's hard for me to say looking at a picture and then you get there and you're like, damn, it smells like poop here or something.
Yeah.
I don't really want to live anywhere. I just kind of want to drift and roam
Amen.
where I may be as a Rolling Stone.
Amen.
Hey, I fuck with that, yeah.
Okay, where are you located though? Headquarters.
Right now I'm in Warrenton, Missouri.
Living.
Sadly.
Very sad. Don't Google that.
Dude, honestly though, I think it'd be sick as fuck to like have a dope ass house in the hills, like, or like in the mountains somewhere, like in the fucking like New Zealand or some shit. That'd be tight
Bro,
as fuck.
just like any place with decent, stable weather where you know, there's a nice plot of land and a fatty house. That's about it, man.
Cause I mean, I'm trying to get
I'm
out
down
of
for
Missouri,
that.
that's for sure. I know.
Access to clean drinking water and food.
Yeah.
So you're saying if we blew up, where would we want to station ourselves?
Where would you want to build a mansion at, dog?
Scotland.
Rado or fucking Cali or
Rado,
yeah. I mean, I'd get a fat ass ranch with some property out in Rado, because then
Rado would be dope.
then you're fucking you're halfway to Cali.
Cause I mean, we're gonna have our personal houses and shit like that.
That's
but,
what I'm saying.
like,
I would get a
probably-
fat ass property in Colorado, and I'd get some fucking chickens and some fucking land. It's dude, like you, like. There's like being rich, and then there's like being rich due to the fact that you're not an idiot that blows money and you don't get gouged. Because like I love like being efficient and being resourceful and making stuff for myself, and not if I don't need to. Like I appreciate saving time and letting the experts take care of stuff, but that is also very enjoyable to like have the opportunity to like get away and take care of yourself and like not rely on like everyone and everything for, you know, some time. Like, because then when we're on tour, we very much rely on so many people and so many things. So like I'm gonna want to be able to get away and like just kind of like not be off the grid, but just kind of like not rely so much on this like just the whole thing, whatever you want to call it. Chilling.
Yeah, I'd live in Scotland, and I would hunt the Loch Ness Monster.
That's not real.
Well, it can
You
be.
say that
I've
until he
seen
shows up at your house with fucking fish.
Nessie,
and,
yeah.
a fish you've never seen.
buddy.
All right,
Prove
when we
me
get this
fucking
money and I can
wrong.
do whatever I want, and I'm in Scotland having a great time in another country.
Be
I'll
careful.
be in Santorini.
They just
Greece
changed the shit
for the weekend.
We need to
Okay,
get
when you get robbed
passports.
by all the poor people there because Greece is going through like a terrible economic
Yeah, there's some
recession.
website my parents
It's
told me
really
about.
not good. Greece.
You're supposed
Sean's going there too. And
You're supposed to check. I forget. Someone probably knows. There's some website you're supposed to check before you travel. It tells you about like international affairs and like, hey, these people are in war right now.
This
Don't
country's
fucking go.
bankrupt.
Yeah, do not go to this country. Like they're not having happy times.
Yeah, dude, I remember when I was a child, like I was like 8 years old, or,
Greece or something.
whenever the whole swine flu thing was happening in Mexico.
Yeah,
like we were
don't
gonna,
go. Yeah, don't go to Mexico.
when we were trying to go to Mexico, they're like, "Oh, dude, there's a huge." We even they even gave us the green light. We went there anyway. We were like, "Fuck it," but like we showed up at the
ballsy.
we showed up at the fucking airport, and there was like half of the people, all the Mexican people, with like masks on and shit like that, crazy crap. Like, dude, no lie. As soon as we got to our resort, I saw some dude throw up like red shit. I was like, oh
No thanks.
Woo! I was like, Mom, what's
Yeah.
happening?
Yeah, don't drink the water, sweetie.
Obviously, be mindful of those kinds of things.
But we said, fuck
But
it.
We're good.
like, Santorini, Greece, beautiful, beautiful.
Dude, how's working on the whole promo video with 3D and shit like that? I mean,
Man, like I said, that was the weekly struggle. But you know what? You just got my head down working on it. Just literally just finishing it.
because Ethan,
up.
don't we have a like a
It's gonna be released by the time you guys are here.
like a mix drop in or
You know,
something like
I was
that?
expecting to be able to say, "Yo, bro, go to the Instagram and hit the fucking like button," but I don't think it's up as I say this, but I think it's up as you hear this. So yeah, go to that Instagram, and when you see that sexy edit and me and that curly-headed guy doing the finger stuff, go ahead and smash that button for us and leave a comment or something.
For
But
sure.
we got an edit up that is promoting. It's promoting our. It's a promotion for our first mix that we released as 3D, and it was kind of all hands on deck as far as like everyone's talents kind of coming together for that to make that edit. Aside from you, Austin, but we're talking about it. So yeah, what's good?
Yeah, because 3D, we gotta be dropping that music, fucking blessing people's ears
Dude,
and shit.
I realize we haven't given them too much. I don't know. It's cool, I guess, looking back, and then we'll see, like, people listening will be like, I guess it took them 3 months to, like, give them whatever. Like, we started episodes 15, 16 weeks, 4 months ago, but, like, now we got the mix coming out, and then about a couple weeks, it'll look like we got a single that'll be released, too. And then Rob and I got a bunch of projects that we're super excited about, and it looks like we're going to be working with some other, like, hip-hop artists and stuff, too. So, like, the hardest part is getting started, and diligence is a necessary thing in order to make music that's worthwhile and not gonna suck in a month or in a week or to anyone that isn't us.
I mean, yeah, dude, art, like giving out art takes time. I mean, like you like go and like listen to like or go on Instagram with like certain rappers and shit like that. Like I remember like seeing a rapper, he like dropped like he like recorded like a song and it sounded badass. I'm like, dude, what the fuck? It's been like 6 months. Where the fuck is this dope ass song? Shit takes time.
The songs you're hearing right now, they were done like a year ago at least.
Exactly.
And honest, it's not even like I'm exaggerating. It's a year it takes to get a project through the machine and get it licensed and
Make it perfect.
Get a marketing campaign together and like much less like the major artists like Rihanna. The song you're hearing right now by her, whoever, like fuck Rihanna, whoever. That shit was. The idea was had at least a year ago. No doubt. It takes time. Like to be like radio ready, yeah, it takes time. And if you're with a label, like you're not gonna give. Labels aren't gonna compete against themselves. So it's like if you're Interscope Records, you got a bunch of male black hip hop artists, but you're only gonna have one of them put out an album at a time because otherwise they're competing against themselves. You don't want to compete against yourself. So you see what I'm saying? Like artists will get shelved. That's what they call it, getting shelved. Where the record label's like, we'll call you. Right now it's Drake, and after this quarter, then some other black artist on our label can put an album out because like they don't want to compete against themselves. It's all the same, to the label or whatever.
Yeah.
So shit takes time, and it's premeditated, and it's not just on the fly, and it's not just look at what dude just dropped and he just wrote this. Like that's just the story.
It's been written for a while.
That's the story, bro. All this shit, like Drake's a persona. You know what I'm saying? Dude has a name. Like it's a. Yeah, I guess a bit better example is like 6ix9ine. That's not a person; it's a persona. It's an act.
Yeah, I mean, like he talked about like that one song he made. Like he's like, dude, I made this as a fucking joke. Like
that's hype. You say that.
But-
He says, I don't. He said, bro, I made this as a joke. I don't even try, and I got the #1 song in the country. That's a marketing tactic to say that you're not even trying and you're the best. That's like, think about it. He's saying like, I don't even got to try and I'm still the best. And then people are like, oh, that's so lit. Come on.
I did see this. I think it might have been on Snapchat News or somewhere.
I'm sure it was on Snapchat.
It was a viral video.
On today's
but hang on.
episode.
Fucking, it was 6ix9ine
Of
with
course.
with like 20 grand in his hand, and he said like some shit you would never expect him to say.
He said all this fucking money and it can't buy happiness. I saw it. He was on like 100 grand. I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
it
probably
was
his publicist was like, "Yo, you should try this out." But I'm telling you, anyone like that, he's not. 6ix9ine isn't allowed to think for himself because 6ix9ine
really
is a figure
not.
that was brought into existence by signing a record deal by whatever that kid's name is. You have to understand that. And I'm not saying you. I'm saying the audience. Like, it's a persona.
Yes.
It's business. Like it's a character. You know, it's like making a movie. Like we have our like it's like you make up a character in your head and you make them to be all these things that you're not. And even these rappers, they're made up to be all these things that they're not. But what makes them look like they are is having the world's best songwriters, publicists, lyricists, managers. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All of a sudden, it's like, this guy's a goat.
Yeah. If
Taylor
you
Swift has
take
100.
all of that away, what are
they're-
they?
I've heard people say, you know,
Right.
guess what? He might be doing this, and this, but his shit still stinks. You go put your finger and scratch his butt, it's still gonna smell like shit. You see what I'm saying? Like, but Taylor Swift has 100 people working for her. They call it or like Beyonce too. They call it like the team. They call it like 100 people working for you. Of course, you're gonna seem like you're larger than life. Like people are living. 100 families are eating off of full-time jobs of. I need to make this person look like they're better than they are. So that's just it's food for thought.
Mm-hmm.
No one is what they fucking say they are on the camera. Not even me. It took us a long ass time to make that edit, and we're out to make you think, oh, this is how we are all the time, just crazy, awesome, lit. And it's like it takes a lot of hard work. That's all we're saying. Yeah.
I feel that. So let's talk about a little bit of Not Designer, our clothing company.
Oh, Not Designer.
Ooh. I know we were talking about how like our products we're trying to get with not just clothing, like just selling T-shirts and shit. We're gonna be giving out a bunch of products with apparel.
Accessories more so.
Yeah, we're not trying to just give out like apparel of T-shirts and shit like that. We're gonna give out not give out, but you know what I'm fucking saying. But like book bags and like wallets and all kinds of dope ass shit with like sick ass brands with our shit on it. You think like as like the weather changes and stuff like that, we're gonna be like giving more like appealing, like not appealing, but like like seasonal like clothing and shit like that, or like what's the vision with that?
The vision for Not Designer is essentially just to introduce products that are received to a larger audience. So, like, we're trying to brainstorm and figure like the things that we can bring in where it's like it's good for us and it's good for you guys in the sense that like it makes our point blank honest, it makes my life a million times easier. Like you might like, how in the hell could anyone ever run a clothing company, a music group, a record label, all that? I'll tell you how, by fucking delegating everything and keeping it simple. And how we do that is instead of having a million shirts with a million sizes and a million colors and a million returns, if we stick to, and what we're gonna do with the rebrand is have the highest quality possible leather backpack, the highest quality possible leather belt, leather wallet, a very nice hoodie, some handmade sunglasses that are in partnership with a company out of Los Angeles. You know, we want to focus on high-end items and then providing it at an affordable cost, because T-shirts kind of suck. Everybody does T-shirts, right?
Yeah.
And not that we can't make T-shirts, but we don't want to be known for that. You know,
Yeah.
like we want to seriously. Like I don't want to be important. I want to be valuable. So I think the way that we're going to be valuable is that we're going to provide insanely high quality leather goods at an insanely affordable price, and we're going to have the same fashion as that MCM bag or that Gucci bag, because my ass, as soon as I get these samples next week, I'm going up to fucking Saks Fifth and Neiman Marcus, and I'm putting my bag right next to the Gucci bag, right next to the MCM bag, and whatever's inferior, that's what I tell my friends overseas to make not inferior. And not until we're happy with the product will we sell it. And when we do, it's going to be at a fraction of the price of these other designer items. And that is Not Designer.
Clout without the cost.
That's my vision. We're probably moving away from fabrics and moving into, well, not moving away from fabrics. We're moving away from cotton t-shirts and we're getting into leather goods, glasses, accessories, fragrances. Oh my goodness.
Not to say that those t-shirts are inferior by any way. Those are...
The shirts are fine.
They're recyclable, dog.
The shirts are fine. It was a great idea. It's recyclable. It's sustainable. Volcom's doing the same thing. We beat Volcom to the punch. Haha. Literally, go to Volcom's page. They were bragging about their
recycled
new
materials,
organic, completely
farm to yarn.
Yeah, yarn to farm, whatever. We said dirt to shirt, but yeah, organic cotton. We were doing the same thing, recycled all that, blah blah. Good deal. It's a good thing to do. We didn't have the success that we were looking for, and it's also not necessarily the vision for me. It was always to provide like designer clothing, and really what we provided with the recycled t-shirts was more so just like sustainable clothing. So we're gonna get back to brass tacks and provide you guys with
quality goods.
Just clout.
Stay tuned for that, guys. Shit's coming.
Dude, I designed that shit. Just wait, dude. Just wait on it, man. Everybody's got their the double G. Wait till you see that N, dude. That thing's got a little zag. Shout out to Tim too, Guffey artist. We that was a fire collab. The design that's going on all the leather goods is like our signature pattern, and that shit is so cash. Yeah, just wait on it. If you go to our Instagram, the sneak peek cover, you can kind of see a little snippet of it.
Not designer official.
Just if you type in "not designer," you'll find us.
Yeah.
First one that pops up on.
And we're the only one. It's
yeah.
They know we're here.
Yeah.
It's lit.
We got any words to live by?
It seems to me that life consists of 3 phases. In the first, we are dependent on others and we learn. In the second, others are dependent on us and we work. And in the third and last, others are no longer depend on us and we no longer have to work. We are free to savor life. I, myself, am in all 3 of these categories simultaneously. And let me tell you how. I never stop learning. And here's a quote to resemble that. I never let my schooling get in the way of my education. That's a great way to live. I think Mark Twain said that. Okay? You need to never stop learning. You cannot be a great teacher if you do not remain a student. You cannot be Mufasa if you do not remain Simba. Okay? That's big. So I'm always learning, and therefore I'm always a baby. And second, others do depend on me, and so I work. And that's a beautiful thing. And I hope to not pass that torch for a long time. But in the third, I have and will continue to hold on to the fact that I am free to savor life, and that I do. I love my life. I love everything I do. I love you guys. Fuck yeah. That's what I live by. Oh, dude, if you don't got it, it's all good, bro. I fuck with you guys so hard, dudes. I'm not leaving. I'm not fucking leaving.
Yeah, dude. Fucking
dude,
Wall Street.
I swear, bro.
You know what, guys? I'm not leaving.
I'm not fucking leaving.
I'm not fucking leaving.
I love it so much.
Love it. Oh my god.
The show goes on. Yeah, dude.
It was the sides.
Where's the...
I hope that's based on a true story. I hope that actually happened. Like some restaurant charged them $26,000 for food.
Bro.
Like what food costs that much money?
The ones that we haven't heard about.
Like, are you
bro.
serving me the sperm of an endangered species? You know what I mean? Like, is it the nut of a thing? You see what I'm saying? Like, that's
some mountain oysters of a fucking.
You see what I did there?
Of
though?
the Yeti.
The sperm of the endangered.
Yes, yes.
It's because the $26,000 for sides, Jordan. That Boston accent.
It was Donnie. It was Donnie. All those sides, you know.
Donnie.
Donnie, we're fucked. Dude, we need to get a Donnie. I like the guy with the buzz cut and he's got the glasses. He's like, we're fucked. We had to install a no fucking zone from 9 to 5.
And in the bathroom.
I'm trying to get. We got to get a corporate building that's like that, just for like a year, and then we got to repent for our sins.
Repent.
I'm not saying I don't want to live like that. I'm saying to me, that's. I know that those thoughts are in my head, but it's like, are those the feeling bad for the puppy on the side of the road, or are those the that ass looks good? I know that they're the latter, but you see what? Hey, we had that talk, bro. It's like, where did those thoughts come from?
Where's to live by? Like I said, this one's gonna be a reoccurring theme for me. The life you see is the life you get. So, dream big. Dream bigger. Yeah. Dream bigger.
You call things dreams. I mean, make them fucking accomplish them, you know?
One time my mom told me the difference between a dream and a goal is a plan, and she wrote it on a sticky note and I stuck it on my wall, and it's been there for 7 years.
That's a word to live by.
The difference between a dream and a goal is a plan. So get a fucking plan, you bitch.
And accomplish it.
And I don't mean that to be misogynistic. You're still a bitch if you're a dude or a girl. Everyone's a bitch. If you don't go and claim your inheritance, which is everything you ever wanted, if you have the ambition to back it up. Ooh. Discipline is the ability to back up your actions with your ambitions.
You can have anything you want, but you can't have everything you want. Yeah, you gotta choose.
That is true.
You gotta make some choices.
90% of success is just showing up. You're not going to feel perfect every day. Get there and start working.
That's facts.
Facts.
There's some words lived by your boy Austin. I never do that, but there you go. I'm spitting out some facts for you. That was a quote by Joe Rogan, by the way.
In case anyone was ever wondering, I always have mine written down, so it's not just always off the dome. I'm not some like supercomputer. I'm very neurotic and borderline obsessive, and when I find things that are meaningful to me, I open up a phone on my note that's already pre-organized as to what insanity that is, and I categorize it by such, whether it's a quote, a poem, lyric, by me, not by me. I am a very neurotic person, so that's why I always have so much quotes for you guys.
Nuggets.
Yeah. So just so you're not like, where in the fuck is this shit coming from? I read a lot of books and then I pause them as I see fit to take the nuggets. Yes, the nuggets.
I was reading about fractals and stuff, and Sierpinski, what a man. What a man, but yeah.
Who was that?
I love it. He had something to do with prime numbers and figuring out. It's a lot of math that I don't really understand, but I'm trying to get into like making fractals and stuff.
What are fractals?
I'm making really good fractals. I'm glad you asked. Here,
I have no idea what the hell that is.
A fractal is a curve or geometric figure, each part of which has the same statistical character as the whole. Fractals are useful in modeling structures, which
tessellations.
It means it's the same thing happening over and over again, but like
tessellations.
Okay.
In which similar patterns reoccur at progressively smaller scales in indescribably partly random or chaotic phenomena such as crystal growth, fluid turbulence, and galaxy formation. All fractal. It's mathematics.
I failed mathematics.
Yeah, me too, and that's why I'm going to pull my hair out.
I failed math, he said.
This is like a fractal. It's a Mandelbrot.
I think I got a D in math every single
like
every single grade of my life except for like senior year. Yo guys, don't forget to check out our social medias. If you want to check out your podcast director Austin here, you can go on my Instagram at Larry_Lovestein_5.0. Rob, where can people find you?
Rob Santo _ in between.
What about you, Swan?
At Matthew Swan. No, at Swagmaster Swan for Instagram. That's about it.
Ethan, where can the people find you?
I'm Ethan Costello.
Everything.
Instagram, Twitter.
What about you, Mathai guy?
At Mathias.
With an F.
Instagram.
Double F.
Double F.
HIAS. With an M and an A before all that.
Also,
that was such like a backwards way to, that seems the simplest way.
You know what's good.
Well, someone might be like, how in the hell do you spell that? Maffhias. Mathias. He had to be the guy that used double F. Because it's like if you couldn't have, speech impediment. That's the joke, right?
Nah, the joke, there's no joke. It's just F's are upside down T's.
Aha. I guess I didn't realize that, yeah.
Also, guys,
you learned me.
F is an upside down T.
You just learned me.
Yeah, with the tail.
I mean, I don't know, man.
Also, guys,
depends how you make your T's. What's up?
Yeah. Fuck. I encourage all our listeners here.
Okay, yeah, I see it now.
Yeah.
I encourage all our listeners here to DM us on our social medias for questions they want answered. If you guys think of any questions at all, like you're listening to this podcast and you're like, man, I'm thinking about this question, just fucking send us a DM on our social medias and just say, yo, can I ask this question, or like or anything. We can put you, if you don't want your name on there or not, we can put it anonymously or not. We'll answer it on the podcast. If you guys have any questions, feel free. I encourage you guys to do that, please, and thank you.
Get us some questions.
That pretty much wraps it up here. This is the 3D podcast. We're signing off here with Ethan,
Thank you, guys.
Matthias,
Peace out, guys.
Swan,
Have a nice night.
and Rob.
Peace out, y'all.
This is the 3D podcast. We'll catch you guys next week.